Okay, in this video, we are going to be practicing using fraction computation to solve problems. And specifically, this little video is supposed to help with this page here, what happened when the ghost disappeared in a fog, as well as why isn't a snowman very smart? I have no idea. You do the problems and you can figure out the answer at the bottom. But I'm going to be using these problems not to answer them completely, but to think about how to solve them. And we're going to take advantage of two things to do this. One is, who is this person anyways? We're going to remind ourselves that operations, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, create relationships between numbers. And we're going to practice these relationships, and along the way it builds our computation skills. So one is we're going to be creating relationships between numbers. The other is, and they say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and so we're going to try to draw an image to represent the problem. Represent or to show the problem. What that means is I'm going to come up with some kind of little sketch that tries to show the problem, and hopefully that'll help me to make this connection, to show the relationship between the values and help me set the problem. So here's the first one we're going to consider. Is Ken lives 7/10 miles west of school, and Barbie lives 9/10 miles east of school. How far apart do Ken and Barbie live? So if here's school, so I'll try and keep it here so you can see it. Here's school. I'll write S for school. And I remember typically on maps that this is north, south, east, and west, right? That's the way most maps orient things. So it says here that Ken lives 7/10 miles west of school. So here's Ken. Here's Ken. I'll put big K for Ken. And he is 7/10 from school. So he's 7/10 of a mile from school. And it says that Barbie lives 9/10 miles east of school. So Barbie lives this direction. And here's Barbie over here. And she lives 9/10 from school. So Ken 7/10 away from school, west, Barbie 9/10 west. And then the question they ask is, how far apart do Ken and Barbie live? So what's the distance between Ken here and Barbie over here? Well, we can see if here's the school, here's Ken, and here's Barbie, and we know that this distance is 7/10. We know this distance is 9/10. That shows us the particular relationship that we need to set up in order to find this entire distance. And I'll leave that to you to set up the problem and answer. Let's do another one. It says, when Scott got his dog Arfus, it weighed 6 3/8 pounds. 6 months later, it weighed 8 7/8 pounds. How much weight did Arfus gain? So Arfus being their dog, not Scott. Okay. So let's see if we can draw a picture for that. So let's see. Sometimes weight is shown on a little scale. So here's Arfus. Whenever I draw dogs fast, I usually make them box dogs. Ruff, Arf. So here is, he's born. And he first weighs, how much does it say he weighs? He weighs 6 3/8 pounds. So here he is. He weighs 6 3/8 pounds. Okay? Then later he weighs him, and he's 7 8/10 pounds. So if this is 0, and here he is, and later he weighs him, and he weighs 8 7/8 pounds, well, that's definitely more than that. I'll describe this as, I got to move this here, so excuse me, a little bit of movement there. So now he's not 6 3/8 pounds, he's 8 7/8 pounds. And the question is, how much weight did he gain? So how much did he gain? How much weight did Arfus gain? So are they asking about this initial, how much he first weighed? Does that describe how much he gained? No, that's just how much he weighed at first. And then later on, he weighed this much. So does it mean he gained 8 7/8 pounds? I don't think so. That's just his weight again. They're talking about the gain. That is the change between this amount of weight and this amount of weight. So visually, I can see what they're asking me for is this right here. I mean, how much weight is that? I don't know. But there is a connection to find out how much this is using this weight, 8 7/8, and this weight, 6 3/8. So what connection would tell you this amount of weight gained? Got a feeling you should be able to handle that no problem. But remember, your operation choices are added, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. So you can always just walk through those, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, and which of these relationships would answer the question to get you how much you gained? That's for you to find out. Let's consider this problem right here, number 7. The Department of Energy reported that 57 100ths of United States electricity comes from coal, 9/10 comes from natural gas, 22/10 comes from nuclear power, and the rest, whatever that is, comes from other sources. So there's electricity, coal, natural gas, and other sources. So how might that look? And they're different parts. Conveniently, it's in terms of 100. So we're going to call this U.S. energy. Let me see if I can move this down a little further. U.S. energy. Oh, if I could spell energy. So I know that some chunk of it comes from electricity. Electricity. As a matter of fact, it says here that it's 57 hundredths. And then I know that's 900, so that's going to be a much smaller piece, right? Even that may have been drawn too big. Comes from natural gas, so this is going to be, so this is 9 100ths. That's going to be natural gas. Right, that's natural gas. And then 22 hundredths comes from nuclear power. So this is nuclear, or nuclear, as the younger President Bush used to say. And this was 22 100ths. Okay, so that's all drawing of the different types of energy, but and it says the rest comes from other sources. So we have this the rest. Okay, so I've got some chunk over here, and it's called the rest. Now what I don't know is how much is that rest? But there's a connection between all the forms of energy and these parts and the rest. Now, one question asked is, since we're talking about things in hundreds, I know that whatever this rest is, it's going to be in terms of 100ths, because all the energy together should equal 100 100ths. The question is, what part is this going to be? So again, there's going to be some relationship, some connection that's going to allow me to combine these parts in different ways to determine this piece. So these are the parts I know, and this is the part I don't know. Again, I'll leave that up to you in order to figure out how much of the United States energy comes from sources other than electricity, natural gas, and nuclear. On this page, again, you have problems where you will be trying to come up with connections between different numbers they give you. Those connections are the relationships, the adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. So let's look at number 7 for a second. Natasha made a sauce in cooking class. She used 3/4 cup cream, or 3/4 cup of cream, and 1/3 cup of butter. How much more cream than butter did she use? So they're telling you right away that because of this, cream's got to be more than butter. The question is what relationship tells you how much more? Remember, your only options are adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. So which of these relationships will tell you how much more? Let's look at number 8. Mr. Mustard bought a bag of citrus fertilizer. He used half of the bag for his orange tree and 1/3 of the bag for his lemon tree. What fraction of the bag was left over? Oh, so he's got an orange tree, and he used half the bag for the orange tree, right? And 1/3 of the bag for the lemon tree. So does that tell you how much he used altogether? No, but I do know that the orange tree plus the amount he used for the lemon tree will tell you what he's used so far, right? So I do know that the orange tree, he used 1/2 the bag here, and I know that he used 1/3 of the bag for the lemon tree. So those together tells you how much he used. But what you don't know is the part that's left over. Well, what number do we associate with a bag? A bag. When you say a of any noun, you're talking about 1. So it's one bag. So it's one bag. So there's a connection between this one bag and the part that he's used. And that connection, that is that add, subtract, multiply, or divide, one of those operations, is going to tell you what fraction of the bag was left over. I'm going to stop here. You guys practice, but make sure you're writing down problems and make sure you're drawing pictures where you can. Use words to label the numbers. It'll help. Remember, you're using operations to create connections between the numbers. I hope this helps. You guys practice hard. I'll see you soon.